Hey there, YouTubers. Thanks for stopping by today and check out my video. Well, today we're going to be talking about uh, the equipment rental business. Kind of a hot topic, and it's something I want to get into heavily. So, you're probably wondering what my background is. Well, my background is I'm a farmer, been a farmer all my life, and I'm a heavy equipment operator. Been doing it for a number of years. Ran everything from, you know, big rock trucks, dump trucks, D8 cats, loaders, graders, uh, backhoes, big excavators, all sorts of stuff. Uh, the construction industry, there was all sorts of equipment. But I've always wanted to get into the rental business because I knew there was a way to make money there, right? And the rental business, the thing is, the other thing you have to think about the rental business is even though you have machinery for rent, quite often you'll gain more business from clients who want you to run that equipment on their projects. And what happens is the business will generate more and more customers. And if you have a secondary piece of equipment, you can go out and do jobs, and the business will run itself too. So machine gets rented out, you go do different jobs, and just keep making money, roll money, roll, and you buy more and more stuff, right? So you basically need a plan, right? And I got plans set up already for my business. And my plan A is the rental business. And my plan B, if things go sideways, well, then I'm a dealer. I'll be buying, selling equipment, just rolling money, roll money. So, for me, I can go buy two 40-foot containers full of excavators and equipment and such and just sell it. Sell, right? And it is the way it is. But always have a plan, right? You have a business plan, you set up your financing, whatever you want to do, and going forward. Also, today's video is brought to you by Matador Excavation Equipment. It's the my equipment that I've name brand my own equipment. So people who sell my equipment know that I'm the man, I'm the dealer for that kind of machinery. If they want to buy one or rent a machine from me, there you have it. So here's a picture of some of the machinery that is available. Will be available for resale or for renting. So things you got to think about for your rental business. Okay, what kind of machinery are you going to be buying? What what customers are you aiming towards, and what are those customers going to be doing with that equipment? So if you have a customer who is going to be doing interior demolition or needs an excavator to go in a doorway, well, obviously in a small machine. My machines don't go through a doorway yet, but they will be. I haven't bought the machine yet, but we'll see how business goes and going forward. Ideally, you want the mini excavator that is the between 700 and 800 kilogram machine. Those are the narrow ones, and those ones go through a doorway. The 1 ton does not go through a doorway because it's not narrow enough. Even though you may decrease the tracks uh, expand in and out, you just don't have enough. You're just too wide, eh? Unless you have a big doorway, then it's a different story, right? So basically, I'm aiming my business towards tight access excavating. So I'm basically trying to attract the contractors, the guys who are electricians, plumbers. Uh, they could be landscapers who guys are doing tight access, maybe doing irrigation installations, other electrical projects, home residential people who are DIYers want to do some landscaping, do some irrigation installations, maybe installing electrical from their house to their shop and those kind of things, fixing driveways, whatever have you. But my machines are small. I mean, I really feel really good about uh, the mini machine rental business because I'm basically differentiating myself. How do I say that? I'm being different from the rest of the rental companies in the area. the rental companies in the area, they have big heavy equipment, right? So they really don't specialize in the small stuff, but I will be. So I have a couple of other machines in the bag here for a later date, but I'll try to mark it out first and see what happens. So the 1 ton mini excavator, which is about 2,000 pounds, is a very versatile piece of machinery. It's just one of the kind of pieces of machinery that you can do a million and one things with the right attachments. With the right attachments, you basically make your mini excavator the Swiss Army knife of machines. Um, some of the safety features we have added to the machine, of course, we'll be changing the roll bar on the back, which is going to be a foldable roll bar. Some of the roll cages on these machines, there are a full roll cage on there, but the problem is how are you going to get under a building with a full roll cage? You can't. So I'm building a roll bar on the back similar to a Kubota, where it just folds over, then do a couple bolts, and it folds down. And have a grab handle at the front so you get on off the machine. Also, the other thing too, we have hydraulic lockouts. It's a very important thing to have. If the machine's running, you bump that lever, it'll knock you on the ground, you get run over and such. Also, there's the other safety features. Well, of course, you have seat belts in the machines. Those are other safety features. Um, Also, the other thing too with the machines, we're also going to be probably will be disconnecting the auxiliary hydraulics because the thing is, if someone sees a third or fourth handle on there on the machine, they're going to be playing with it and trying to see what the hell's wrong with it, right? How's it work, right? Just disable it so it basically still be the linkage so people can't screw around with it. And all the controls have changed on it. And I heard people say, "Oh well, the controls are all Mickey Mouse, right?" But I like most people. I think most people will have their specialty of running machines. I like my machines controlled like a backhoe. And people say, "Oh, you can't change the controls on these Chinese excavators." You can. You can change the controls by changing two hoses. Change four hoses. You just change the hoses from one to another, especially on the controls. And if you're used to backhoe controls, you're used to what you're used to. Your right hand does one thing, left hand does another. And of course, they don't have the manual, or they don't have the manual lever like most excavators do. You just switch the lever for either from backhoe or to excavator or what the hell. I don't know the proper terms of what the controls do, what the controls don't do. I just know that I'm used to backhoe controls. And once you get to a machine, once you get on, you start using it, and it feels natural to those controls. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I always switch them on my machinery that I have or ones I use at work. I switch them excavators or backhoes or whatever I'm using. I switch it to the controls I'm used to using. So the mini excavators do come in many different versions. Okay, many different models, and the little red one you see here is the basic of the most basic. As you go forward a little bit more, as you go a little more forward in the video here, you see that this model comes in a cab machine. The cab machine is good if you're a small guy, really small person, maybe I don't know 4'4" or 4 foot or not under 5 foot tall, skinny Milligan kind of person. But if you're a big guy, you're never getting into that cab. If I can't get in it, no one can get in it. So open cab is the best. Open cab gives you more versatility, vers- makes the machine more versatile. Now going forward, you see my phone's always going off. You see the little white machine. Okay, that is my machine that I bought, and that is a little more heavy duty than other machines. This machine is built to my specs. As it has a heavier, the steel on the boom is heavier. The main chassis is heavier steel. All the components on this machine are heavy duty. The main pivot point on the for the swing arm is heavy duty. Is a solid pin from top to bottom. Most of them have two pins in that swing. Mine is solid right from top to bottom. So it's a way more heavy duty machine, and I got it designed that way because people are abusive on equipment. So it'll last a lot longer than most equipment will. So if you're going to Alibaba or wherever you're looking at machinery to buy, okay, um, basically there's lots of models in between uh, the 1 ton machine and the 2 ton machine. And I would suggest if you're thinking about buying your own piece of machinery, either buy a 1 ton or you go straight to the 1.8 ton. Now you noticed I said 1.8 ton. Okay, the 1.8 ton machine is probably one of the best machines you're gonna get for your buck. So I mean, there is no point paying extra money for the 2 ton machine when the 1.8 ton is exactly what you want. The 1.8 machine, of course, this machine will not be used, will be not a rental machine. It's going to be just a machine that I'm going to be using for using it for my own projects, and um, also be using that piece of machinery when projects arise with the business. If someone wants other projects done that the little 1 ton machine can't do, they can take the 1.8 and do those projects, because I have more attachments for the 1.8 machine than I do for the 1 ton. The 1 ton is a strictly straightforward machine, strictly for digging, for trenching, general, a little bit of landscaping and such. That's what it's designed for. But the 1.8, I have way more attachments for it that make it the Swiss Army knife of machines. So instead of spending an extra I mean, instead of spending extra $2,000 to $3,000 for the 2 ton, you buy the 1.8 ton machine, and you have a wicked piece of machinery there that can do a lot of different projects. But you're the you go. I mean, you would. I mean, you build your own destiny. You do what you want to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what my experience is. So the other piece of machinery that I have got is the mini dumper. Now, the mini dumper is a great piece of machinery. It's very useful. Some have the bucket that raises right up, and you can dump it right back into your little trailer, your dump trailer, into your bucket of your machine. The track do not expand yet, but they could at a later date. They're narrow for a reason, to get into tight access areas. They're heavy too. I mean, they're about 2,000 pounds. They're no toy. But these ones, you can stand on the back of them, or you can walk behind. I'd rather stand on the machine for safety reasons. And I will be adding a couple extra attachments to our machines that make them different than most. So I have a lot of ideas, and I've talked about this with the manufacturer, but for me, I'll modify it. Um, it's a great piece of machinery, and you know, and it's also gasoline powered, which is very nice. I do like the gasoline powered machines. Um, you know, if you're renting out equipment, you definitely want gasoline powered, because if the machine runs out of fuel, and someone don't know how to bleed diesel engine, and then the machine's broken down, and people crank, and bore the starter out, blow the battery up, who knows what. Gasoline, you just put gasoline in it, crank it a few times, and it's up and going again. No big deal. And that's why I like the gasoline engine. It's a very, very, very useful piece of machinery. So, another thing we're thinking about too for a later date is a mini loader. Mini loaders are they're quite interesting machine. Um, Also, they're basically stand on the back of them too, right? I had a bad experience. I had a skid steer loader of my own. I had a Thomas skid steer loader, and I had a scary experience. I think it tipped over on me backwards, because that machine was really back heavy, and it tipped over, and I was basically looking at the sky, and it was teetered on the back of the machine. It almost trapped me inside the machine. So scary stuff. One of the reasons why I like the stand-on, I mean, don't get me wrong, these stand-on mini loaders can be dangerous too, but they're less dangerous. Okay, they're more versatile. You get on off them easily. Unlike a skid steer, you have to jump over the damn bucket, risk banging your knees up on that boom or on the bucket. It's such just a safety thing. And the skid steers are good if you're gonna be in there for hours and hours, but going in and out, and that's where the mini loader comes to play. Where if you're a landscaper or doing other projects, the mini like the mini skid steer loader will you get on off it easily with ease, and you can add other attachments to it. You add mowers to it, rotavators, all sorts of different things you add to these machines to make them do what you want. So those are just things that I want to maybe add at a later date, depends on business. So um, basically, you have to figure out what you want. The rental business. I mean, there's many different things in the rental business. You have to think about how much money you want to make. The thing is, you don't want to be too expensive because then they want to rent from you, and also you don't want to be too cheap where you're going to be not making any money. You kind of have to have a happy medium there, right? So I mean, there's different things to think about. Um, you just have to use your brain, investigate what other rental places are charging and such, and just do what you have to do. I mean, I'm not here to. I mean, I don't want to work. I'm not interested in volumes of people. I do. I just want to have enough customers and good returning customers to keep renting my machinery, right? And you know, if all else fails, if someone wants to buy a piece of machinery off me, well then they'll have to wait and I'll have to order a couple pieces of machinery, then sell them as they need. So, but anyways, the rental business is it's a new career. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change, and you know, just different things coming up. So, anyways, thanks for watching my video. If you find any information I have provided in this video of interest, give me a thumbs up, and you're welcome to pause the video at any time and also look at some of the specs that are on some of the excavators here and determine for yourself if that's a piece of machinery you want or that's something. Maybe you can pause the video and say if you have a project with tight access, you want to know the specs of what the machine can do. Sometimes you have a narrow space you have between the house and the fence. You want to know if the machine can get through that area. Pause the video and read in the specs and see if that machine's going to be working for you or not. Just different things, right? Anyways, thanks for watching, and bye for now.